Hi everybody, it's Chris with the Cloverdale Transit Authority, and today before we start with our video, I just want to remind everybody that we're getting close to maybe a couple of weeks here left before we close out our model railroad giveaway on the 31st of July at midnight Eastern. And so if you haven't gotten in on this, it's free. It takes like a minute to enter this thing, and we're just giving away a couple of pieces of rolling stock, a Lionel tanker car and an MTH caboose. And it's just to thank everybody for following the channel. But if you haven't got in on this, I've put a link below for the video where we talk about this and the details on how you enter the drawing. And then also, if you go to our YouTube channel and look for the video about our model train giveaway, and it features myself and Kyle from Beltline Hobbies, you watch that and that'll give you all the details. So don't forget to get in on this giveaway. Again, it's free and it takes a minute to enter. So now we're heading on to the video of the day. All right, so I just wanted to do a little preface for this video because I didn't really shoot any video when I first got this at a train show early in 2024. And of course, as you can see, it's the Lionel Lackawanna Fairbanks Morris Trainmaster, Lionel number 2321, and this came out between 1954 and 1956. But I've always wanted these because it's a huge locomotive, for Lionel, and it has two motors in it. But so I picked it up a little over $100, which was a good price. And they said, this one truck here, this one motor is a little sticky. I thought, no problem. Hey, I can handle these things. That's what a lot of us do. We take these things apart and fix them. But I got to tell you that, this was a bit more of a challenge, and I'll talk a little bit about it in the video, but we kind of pick up after the repairs have been done and we're ready to put it back together. So here we go. All right, well, this video has taken a while to get all of the parts put together. I mean, this is literally months and months later on this. You guys have seen this in other videos, still sitting there in parts of the Lionel Trainmaster, the 2321 from 1954. And there is a reason why this has taken so long to get back to finishing this up. So let's take a look. So this has been the culprit all along here. This is one of the two power trucks from, here's the, I don't know if this is the front or the rear. I can't remember now, it's been so long, but I think this is the rear power truck. Part of the reason has been that it just wouldn't turn at all. I mean, it would, but it was like this, So, I got in there and I cleaned all this out, and I thought, okay, well, let's see what's happening. And it looked pretty clean, but it still wouldn't turn, still would not turn. So I took this over to Kyle at Beltline Hobbies, and I said, Kyle, what do you think about this? He goes, well, the spline in here may be bad, and he goes, let me pull it all apart. So, of course, he's got a line out the door of people that are wanting him to work on stuff for their trains, and I'm no different. So I don't get a priority, folks. It's just when he gets to it. So he did, and he goes, I took this thing apart, and he goes, there's nothing wrong with the little spline. He goes, it literally down in here was just packed with dried grease that was almost like Loctite. It was so dry, and once he pulled all the wheels off and got this little brass gear out of here, and he just cleaned all that out and got everything out of there, and then it was fine. But it was ancient grease packed down in there that just would not give. I mean, it was dried. Well, the secret behind this is not a matter of just throwing all the parts back together. You got to get the wheel press to put the the wheels back on. But also, you needed to have a spacer, the appropriate spacer to space this out so that it would, it would interface with the motor gear correctly. And so there's spacing information in there, and he had to have a friend manufacture a tool actually made out of a couple of driving rods from an old steam locomotive that he soldered some of these together and cut and was able to space that in there. So now here it all is. I am going to grease this down in here really well, and I'm going to start putting this locomotive back together. Hopefully it's going to go back together properly. I literally have all of the parts in this box here, and they're all the screws and the truck side plates and everything. So I'm going to put all this stuff back together, and then we're going to put it, hopefully this is spaced right. It's going to go on the motor. Everything's going to get greased up, and lo and behold, we're going to have a running locomotive. I bought this in February of 2024, this year, and kind of cleaned it up and everything. But I've been anxious to run it, so it probably needs cleaned up some more. Sorry, let me hold that on camera. It's still kind of grimy in there, and so we're gonna first work on this, and then we're gonna make sure it runs. And then we're going to clean up the body and get it on there and pull some coal hoppers. Okay, so I've got this all back together, this power truck, and you can see that the truck side frames are on there. This leading, gosh, I can't remember what this part of the engine is called. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sure it'll appear in a superimposed letter sentence here. Anyway, so I got that all taken care of, and I did grease up the gears. I did put some grease on that in there, and man, I'm telling you what, this thing just has hair all over it. I don't understand what the story is, but yeah, so I'm just getting a little oil down in here where I can. Letting it sink down in there. They're really tight, so, but anyway, so the truck is back together. Now it's a matter of getting it on here. Now, part of this has, I also have to install the power pickup for the track, which I obviously have, and I did put a new wire on here, and that was real fun. So I've got that, so I can start getting all these parts together. And there's a insulator that goes on here, and I've got, in the book, I've got all of the details on this. So now it's just a matter of getting it all back together. And it's not so bad in that when I started this was months, if I just started this and cleaned it up and put it back together, it wouldn't have been so bad. But now it's months later, and I've never had one of these locomotives before. This is a kind of a new experience here. So I am slowly but surely working through this and remembering how this all goes back together so that it will work correctly. Okay, well, here it is. I mean, I had to do some fiddling to try to get this back together, and I found out I was missing a part that insulates the wire going to the screw that goes and connects to the power pickup on the truck that was being repaired. And I did have that part, and I have no idea where it went. So I actually used part of a a plug protector, you know, one of those little things you plug into the wall that kind of protects it from a little kid going and sticking their fingers or a fork in there or whatever. And I made that insulator, and I'll get the actual part. I know that Beltline Hobbies has the part. So, and I did get this. Obviously, as you saw, I got this on the track, the Circle of Death, as I call it, and ran the frame before I put the body back on it. But I cleaned the body up just a little bit. Because this, I'm actually going to use this as a locomotive pulling a long coal train. Obviously not a lot of cars right now, but and so I want it to look a little dirty, and you know, you can kind of see there's some stuff there. I don't know, I could clean some of that off, whatever. So yeah, there we go. Let's get it on the track and let's watch it run.
Well, there you have it, folks. I love this train. It's going to look a lot better when it's on a long straight haul with all those coal cars. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's just sort of a recap of what it took to get this thing running. When you find something, at a train show, sometimes it doesn't always work out, but you can usually get it running anyway. So, and if you like this content, make sure you click on like and subscribe, and also click on the little bell. That'll let you know when we're putting up more content. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next video.